Body recomposition is a concept that's been getting a lot of attention in the fitness industry recently, and for good reason. The thought of reducing fat while maintaining or even adding muscle mass seems like the holy grail of fitness objectives, doesn't it? Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not just a pipe dream, it's absolutely attainable with the appropriate attitude. In this definitive guide, we're going to go deep into the realm of body recomposition, studying the science behind it, the tactics that work, and the typical traps to avoid. Let's start by knowing what body recomposition actually implies. In essence, it's the process of altering your body composition, that is, the ratio of fat mass to lean mass in your body without necessarily affecting your total body weight. This is distinct from the usual strategy of cutting or dropping weight or bulking, gaining weight. Instead, body recomposition tries to concurrently decrease fat mass while growing or retaining muscle mass. Now, you may be asking, is this even possible? The answer is yes, but it's not as easy as merely wishing it into reality. It involves a careful mix of diet, exercise, and lifestyle variables, and let's be honest, it's not always the shortest method. But for those willing to put in the work and be patient, the effects may be absolutely transforming. One of the major ideas driving effective body recomposition is the notion of energy balance. You've certainly heard the term calories in, calories out before, and although it's a bit of an oversimplification, it's not totally untrue. To lose fat, you need to be in a calorie deficit, that is, ingesting less calories than you're burning. But here's where body recomposition differs from ordinary weight loss. You can't merely decrease your calorie intake significantly. Why? Because excessive calorie restriction may lead to muscle loss, which is precisely what we're trying to prevent. Instead, the objective is to produce a tiny, persistent calorie deficit. This can imply cutting your daily calorie consumption by merely 10 to 20% below your maintenance level. This strategy allows for moderate fat reduction while supplying enough energy to promote muscle preservation and development. But calories aren't the sole factor when it comes to diet for body recomposition. Protein consumption is critically necessary. Protein is the building block of muscle tissue, and ingesting enough quantities is crucial for keeping and increasing muscle mass. Most research indicates aiming for roughly 1.6 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day for people involved in resistance exercise. This can seem like a lot, particularly if you're not accustomed to watching your protein consumption, but it's feasible with some forethought and maybe the odd protein smoothie. Carbohydrates and lipids also play essential roles in body recomposition. Carbs are your body's primary source of energy, particularly for high-intensity exercises like weight training. They also aid to save muscle protein from being broken down for energy. Fats, on the other hand, are required for hormone synthesis, particularly testosterone, which is important for muscle development and recuperation. The actual ratio of carbohydrates to fats might vary based on individual tastes and how your body reacts, but a typical starting point is to assign roughly 25 to 30% of your calories to fats, with the remaining coming from carbs after accounting for your protein consumption. Now let's speak about the other side of the equation, exercise. When it comes to body recomposition, resistance exercise is king. Weightlifting or activities that test your muscles are crucial for boosting muscular development and maintenance. This doesn't mean you need to become a power lifter overnight, but you should be including progressive resistance training into your regimen at least 3 to 4 times per week. The essential term here is progressive. To continue seeing improvements, you need to steadily increase the demands on your muscles over time. This might include adding more weight, increasing the amount of repetitions or sets, or modifying the speed of your exercises. The notion of progressive overload guarantees that your muscles are continuously pushed and have a cause to develop stronger and larger. But what about cardio? Contrary to what some would assume, cardio isn't the enemy when it comes to body recomposition. In fact, doing moderate cardiovascular activity may be helpful for general health and can assist produce the calorie deficit we spoke about before. The goal is to establish the correct balance. Too much high-intensity exercise may interfere with muscle development and recovery, so it's frequently suggested to concentrate on low to moderate effort cardio, such brisk walking or light running a few times a week. One strategy that's gained popularity in recent years is HIIT, or high-intensity interval training. This style of cardio comprises brief bursts of intensive activity followed by intervals of rest or lower intensity exercise. HIIT may be an effective approach to burn calories and improve cardiovascular fitness without spending hours on the treadmill. Plus, some studies shows that it may be more helpful at retaining muscle mass compared to steady-state cardio. Recovery is another key part of good body recomposition that frequently gets forgotten. When you're attempting to reduce weight and gain muscle concurrently, you're asking a lot of your body. Adequate rest and recovery are vital for enabling your muscles to mend and get stronger. This involves getting adequate sleep by targeting 7 to 9 hours each night, regulating stress levels, and even including active recovery days into your regimen. Speaking of routines, consistency is crucial when it comes to body recomposition. You can't expect to notice major results if you're just keeping to your food and exercise regimen irregularly. It's much better to follow a modest, sustainable strategy regularly than to go all out for a week and then fall off the wagon. Now, let's address some frequent myths concerning body recomposition. One of the largest is the misconception that you need to eat in an excess to grow muscle. While it's true that a calorie surplus helps stimulate muscle building, it's not necessarily required, particularly for novices or those returning to training after a vacation. The body may develop muscle in a moderate calorie deficit or at maintenance, especially when protein intake is high and resistance exercise is continuous. Another fallacy is that you need to perform infinite amounts of AB workouts to acquire a six-pack. The reality is everyone has abdominal muscles. They're simply typically disguised behind a layer of fat. While ab workouts may help develop and define these muscles, the key to displaying them is lowering total body fat via right diet and a mix of resistance training and cardio. Let's also discuss about the use of supplements in body recomposition. While no supplement is a handful that might possibly boost your aims. Creatine monohydrate is one of the most well-researched supplements and has been found to boost muscular strength and growth when paired with resistance exercise. Protein powder may be a practical approach to help fulfill your protein requirements, particularly if you struggle to acquire enough from whole food sources. Other supplements like caffeine beta-alanine and citrulline malate may give performance advantages during workouts, perhaps helping you to exercise harder and recover quicker. However, it's vital to remember that supplements are just that, supplements to a sound diet and exercise strategy. They're not miracle pills that will do the job for you. Always emphasize receiving your nutrients from entire food sources and regard supplements as optional extras rather than needs. One part of body recomposition that doesn't get spoken about enough is the mental game. Changing your body composition is as much a psychological issue as it is a physical one. It demands patience, persistence, and a willingness to trust the process even when progress appears sluggish. Unlike quick weight loss or weight growth, the changes from body recomposition might be modest and take time to become visible. This is when monitoring your development becomes vital. Regular weigh-ins may be beneficial, but they don't reveal the entire picture. Remember, the purpose of body recomposition isn't simply to modify your weight, but to change your body composition. This implies that the number on the scale may not move significantly even when your body is evolving. Instead, then depending entirely on the scale, try utilizing different tools to measure your progress. Taking progress shots every few weeks may give a visual record of your improvements. Measurements of major body components like your waist, hips, thighs, and arms may also be helpful. Some individuals feel that charting their strength improvements at the gym is a motivating method to observe progress. And if you have access to it, body composition testing technologies like DEXA scans or bioelectrical impedance may offer more specific information on changes in your fat mass and lean mass. It's also worth remembering that body recomposition isn't a linear process. You can endure times when fat reduction appears to plateau or where muscular gains are less evident. This is natural and doesn't necessarily imply you're doing anything wrong. The body contains complex regulatory mechanisms that may occasionally lead to plateaus. When this occurs, it's crucial not to worry or make abrupt adjustments. Often, modest tweaks to your diet or workout regimen might be enough to spark growth again. Let's discuss a little more about the significance of appropriate form and technique in your resistance training. When you're focusing on body recomposition, it's not just about lifting huge weights, it's about lifting them properly. Proper form guarantees that you're targeting the appropriate muscles efficiently and decreases the danger of damage. It's generally preferable to lift a lower weight with excellent form than to battle with a greater weight with bad technique. This is where working with a certified personal trainer or coach can be immensely useful, particularly when you're just starting out. They may help you learn appropriate form, build a program geared to your objectives, and give inspiration and responsibility. If working with a trainer isn't an option, there are lots of tools online, including video lessons and form guidelines that may help you acquire perfect technique. Another crucial part of effective body recomposition is regulating your expectations. While it's possible to lose fat and grow muscle concurrently, the pace at which this occurs might vary substantially based on variables, including your starting point, genetics, age, and hormone profile. And generally speaking, people who are new to resistance training or returning after a lengthy absence tend to notice the most significant gains. This is commonly referred to as newbie gains and is a stage when the body is very receptive to the new stimulus of resistance training. For more experienced lifters, the process of body recomposition tends to be slower. This doesn't mean it's not doable, but it frequently takes more specific diet and exercise plans. Some experienced lifters find success with tactics like body part specialization, where they concentrate on raising up a specific muscle region while preserving others, or periodization, where they cycle between periods of slightly higher and lower calorie intakes. It's also worth addressing the function of hormones in body recomposition. Hormones including testosterone, growth hormone, and insulin play key roles in muscle development and fat reduction. While you can't directly manage your hormone levels unless you're you're working with a doctor for hormone replacement treatment, you may impact them via your lifestyle choices. For example, resistance exercise has been proven to abruptly raise testosterone and growth hormone levels. Getting proper sleep is critical for hormone synthesis and control. Managing stress via strategies like meditation or yoga may help keep cortisol, which is a stress hormone that can increase fat accumulation and muscle breakdown imbalance. And having a balanced diet with appropriate healthy fats helps promote overall hormone production. For women, it's crucial to understand that hormonal swings during the menstrual cycle might affect body composition and how you feel throughout exercises. Some women discover that they retain more water and feel less energy during specific parts of their cycle. Understanding these trends might help you change your expectations and perhaps your training and diet strategy during the month. Let's also discuss the question of refeeds or diet breaks. When you're in a calorie deficit for a lengthy time, your body might start to adjust by slowing down your metabolism. This is a survival strategy meant to preserve energy when food is limited. To offset this, some individuals integrate scheduled times of greater calorie consumption, frequently focused on boosting carbs. These refeeds may assist to improve metabolism, refill glycogen reserves, and give a mental respite from dieting. They might be especially effective if you're feeling exhausted or your development has stagnated. However, it's crucial to approach refeeds wisely. They're not an excuse to gorge on junk food, but rather a regulated increase in calories, generally from nutrient-dense sources. The frequency and length of refeeds might vary depending on your body fat percentage and how long you've been in a deficit. Now let's speak about the significance of nutritional timing. While the overall quantity of nutrients you take during the day is typically more essential than when you consume them, there may be some advantages to strategic nutrient scheduling for body recomposition. For example, ingesting protein before and after your exercises may aid boost muscle protein synthesis. Some individuals find that consuming a carbohydrate-rich lunch a few hours before training provides them with greater energy throughout their exercise. Post-workout nutrition is very crucial. This is when your muscles are prepared to take in nutrients for recuperation and development. Aim to consume a meal containing both protein and carbs within an hour or two following your activity. This doesn't have to occur immediately after the anabolic window is not as small as formerly assumed, but try not to postpone it for too long. It's also worth examining the notion of nutritional partitioning, that is, how your body determines whether to utilize the calories you ingest for muscle construction or fat storage. While you can't totally control this process, several tactics may assist tip the balance in favor of muscle development. These include remaining active throughout the day, not just during your workouts, controlling insulin sensitivity via food and exercise, and maybe employing supplements like alpha lipoic acid or chromium that may promote nutrient partitioning. Let's not forget about the role of water in body recomposition. Water has a key part in practically every biological function, including muscle protein synthesis and fat metabolism. Aim to drink enough water so your urine is light yellow throughout the day. During exercises, you may need to boost your fluid intake to replenish what's lost via perspiration. As we reach the conclusion of this book, it's vital to underline that body recomposition is not only about altering how you appear, it's about enhancing your entire health and fitness. The process of decreasing fat and increasing muscle may contribute to benefits in cardiovascular health, insulin sensitivity, bone density, and general quality of life. It may raise your confidence, increase your energy levels, and enhance your performance in everyday tasks and sports. Remember, the process of body recomposition is a marathon, not a sprint. It demands patience, persistence, and a willingness to learn and modify as you go. There will be ups and downs, moments of quick advancement, and discouraging plateaus. But with the appropriate attitude and mentality, you may accomplish incredible improvements in your body composition, health, and fitness. In conclusion, body recomposition reducing fat while preserving or adding muscle mass is a feasible aim for many individuals. It demands a carefully balanced approach to diet containing enough protein and a slight calorie deficit. Resistance exercise is vital, with an emphasis on increasing loading to consistently push your muscles. Cardio may play a supportive function, especially low to moderate intensity or HIIT exercises. Recovery, including sufficient sleep and stress management, is just as vital as the effort you put in at the gym. Remember to monitor progress using many techniques, not just the scale. Be patient and persistent, and don't be afraid to seek guidance from specialists like trainers or dietitians if you need it. With perseverance and the appropriate plan, you can modify your body composition, enhance your health, and create the strong, lean physique you're hoping for. The trip may be tough, but the benefits are well worth the effort.
Looking for high-quality supplements backed by Dr. Andrew Huberman himself? Check out the links in the description below and subscribe and hit the bell icon if you've learned anything new or anything of value.